Hi, I'm David Loar from Nederland, and I've hunted these lands for over 20 years. And I was around here when they did the Clearcuts. And so I think I have a good perspective on what the hunting was like before and after the Clearcuts. This used to be some really good hunting grounds, and now that we've had this multiple Clearcuts in this unit, there's probably 5 or 6 of them. The hunting is radically changed, as well as the climate. It's dried out a lot uh, with the amount of trees taken out of here. Totally changed this environment. They didn't seem to care about the integrity, how the area was at all. They tore up all the existing trails, and I'm not talking about really thick lodgepole forest. I'm talking about very well spaced trees throughout the woods, and it was in a pretty wild state at that point. They took a lot of good trees too, and a lot of it was what the logging companies wanted, and we don't see why they had to rip up all the trails and just made the place a totally different area. This is some young lodgepole growth from the cuts they did probably in the last 5 years. And you can see how dense this little stand is. And this is really dangerous stuff. It's the fuel that was taken out of here is nothing compared to this. The only thing it would be good for is to have them making work for the Forest Service in the future. It's like a self-perpetuating cycle here. This kind of stand of trees chokes out the good plants that the elk and deer eat. You might get some kinnikinnick like we're standing in here, but they don't really even eat that. They want plants that get a lot of sun and pull up a lot of nutrients out of the ground. This basically chokes that all out. So this is really no good for us. As we're walking around through here, a couple of different areas, we haven't seen hardly any sign of game coming through here. No scat, no footprints. And this used to be pretty heavily used by the elk and the deer. There's absolutely nothing here. No hunters either. I would ask them not to do these clear cuts and do more of a layered, stepped out forest, to where maybe you have some thicker trees in parts of it, but not cutting the burn piles of lodgepole, because they all spit seeds out, and that's how we get lodgepole growing back thicker than what was there before. And as I'm standing right here, I can see lodgepole over here. In 100 square feet, there's probably 15-20 trees, which is a little too dense. You have all these little lodgepoles, which is ground fire itself, fuel. So it needs, they need to have a different attack on this. These were $1 a piece, but they're for a different gun. These are like $1 a piece nowadays. So I'm just gonna take about a 50-yard shot.